Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Woo Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork you will not get anywhere else. Where we do not teach you how to rise to the occasion here, folks. We teach you how to fall to your level of preparation. Preparation. We are on another Make Your Move Monday kickoff question. Again, before I get into the question, which is, again, all about actually what I have to address, because I had a lot of shit to say, a lot of talking about my Washington Commanders kicking some Dallas ass. And as it turned out, the Washington Commanders got their ass kicked in a bad way, from injuries to the scoreboard. 85 looks like he's going to be out for another couple of weeks. It does not, at the current moment, again, I'm just being a real fan. I got to own up. Hey, Dallas, you got the dub. You kicked our ass, and it does not, at the moment, again, it's still somewhat early. It's mid-season. Does not look like we're going to repeat and get to an NFC Championship game this year. Again, I'm just being a real fan, not a fan that's delusional, and a fan that has been through a lot with that fucking franchise. All right. Excuse my French on that, but they put me through a lot of shit growing up. All right. So again, it was tough to watch that ass kicking. At the end of the day, I got to come on here, speak on it, because number one, I had a lot of energy about, them winning yesterday. And number two, it leads me right into today's Make Your Move Monday kickoff question, which is, what are the trade-offs? All right, what are the trade-offs? What are the trade-offs that you're focusing on? Now, I'll dive deeper into this about an hour from this recording, or if you're listening to this on the live stream, in which I'm going to break down the full article. And, by the way, for those of you who don't know, Monday through Wednesday, I will do a live stream breaking down what's on the article. The new book number 6, is going to have all the articles in a written format, which is what book number, about how to be a entrepreneur and all that kind of stuff. All that will be available it's kind of in the process of getting all that available as we speak. But the system around here is Make Your Move Monday, Top 5 Tuesday, Entrepreneur Wednesday. All right. Live streams are going to be, that's where I'll dive into the live streams and stuff like that. But they're just 3 days a week. I condensed it now. And then obviously film session Saturday with football games and all that kind of stuff. But the question, when it comes to the question today, what are the trade-offs? What are the trade-offs? Understand, especially if you're a regular consumer of my work, you consume anybody that might be like me on the internet in terms of just positivity, motivation, getting people on the right track, looking for new opportunities, creating new opportunities for themselves. Understand that every new opportunity is going to come with something called a trade-off. There's no perfect situation. There's no perfect relationship. There's no perfect job. There's no perfect amount of money. There's nothing perfect in this world. Everything comes with some sort of a trade-off. And if you get in the habit, when new opportunities come your way, to getting in the habit of asking what the trade-offs are, you can start solving the problems before they come up. All right. So understand, for me, and again, I'll dive deeper into the concept as I discuss it with you on the live stream. But for me personally, the story of me just moving to Florida, moved to Florida with zero job offer. The closest family member was, nowhere near where I wanted to live in Florida. There's nowhere near anything. Didn't know anybody. I just said, hey, I love my football, I love my fitness, and I love my Hispanic women. So, and I just love the Florida lifestyle. I was raised in a Caribbean household. As I was trying to now think about the kind of lifestyle I want to live, it's packed up. I was 27 at the time, packed up and just rolled and just figured it out. Now the trade-off for that is, hey, it becomes a whole lot more of a challenge. Yeah, you can go do it. You're young enough to go do it, but trade-off becomes a whole lot more challenging to build a community. Again, I have all of the things that I want in place professionally, but then when it comes to the foundational stuff like having a family, relationship, all that kind of stuff, now that becomes a bigger challenge than somebody who goes the convention around, just stays with what is given to them. So the trade-offs for whatever opportunity that you're seeking is something that you have to start asking yourself now. The quicker you ask yourself those questions, the more prepared you are to solve those issues when they start coming up. And that starts with you. That doesn't have any fucking thing to do with anybody else. It starts with you asking yourself now. And this is why the whole theme and everything this week is going to be all about, hey, what are the trade-offs? And are you solving the problems of whatever the trade-offs are going to be now, so when they do come up, when they do happen, you already got the answers. You're already prepped. You already have certain things in place to say, I knew this was going to come up. I'm ready for it. Let's go to the next problem. And let's go to the next problem. Because that's what life is going to be. It's just solving problem after problem after problem, fixing situations after situations after situation. And that's how you create value in this world. how you leave a legacy. That's how you leave something for the people coming behind you. All right. So real question, make your move kickoff question, just so we're clear. It's what are the trade-offs, and are you fixing the problems before they come up, because you know what the trade-off is going to be for X opportunity. All right. All that being said, main website to check out to dive deeper into all the work I do, especially when it comes to employee development. We are big on employee development around here. It's makeyourmove.com. That's MakeYamove.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. As one Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk.
All right, folks, as one Crookshank here, as you just heard, main website to check out to dive deeper into all the work I do from an employee development standpoint. MakeYamove.com. That's MakeYamove.com. It is your one-stop shop for all your teamwork and your self-development needs. Back for another Make Your Move Monday kickoff question. All right, where we're going to be diving deep, very deep all week, throughout the entire week, in what it means to actually have a trade-off and what it means to actually understand what trade-offs are. All right, so first of all, let me reintroduce myself to anybody that is new to me, new to this world. My name, like I've mentioned, I repeat it as often as I need to, because I know it is a name that you're not going to pick up on right when you hear it. So I do like to repeat that my name on multiple occasions. For any newcomers to my world, it is As One Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, former Division I college football player, and current 6-time published author and educator. I created this whole brand, this whole system, this whole company, this whole concept. It's all about taking the innovative teamwork lessons that you learn on the football field and applying them to businesses and business owners, so they have a staff and or a group of employees that moves as efficiently, as strategically, as passionately as a championship high school or youth football team. All right. And the staple, and the staples that we do around here, Make Your Move Monday kickoff question, where the question is going to be meant to put you in a different limelight, put you in a place mentally that's gonna provide solutions before problems come up. Understanding that if you want to build a solid team, want to build an organization, if you want to build something that's going to stand the test of time, you got to start solving problems before they come up. You got to start thinking of situations and putting yourself in scenarios long before they actually come up, or even if they never come up, you got to have the mindset of, hey, I'm going to be making decisions that's going to be best for a team. You know, the biggest turn off for me, the biggest thing that turns me off with people is when they make it all about me. You know, I do not last. I'll just tell you right now, don't hit the subscribe button. Do not come any deeper into my world if you're the type of person that makes everything about themselves. Every conversation, every single thing that you say and do, and every move you make, every action you take, everything is about me. If that's you, if that's your mentality, please go find another fucking video to watch. Go find somebody else to look at on the internet. Because what we do around here is we make sure we're making decisions that are best for a unit, best for a team. There's no I'm not a selfish person. We are all, making sacrifices for what we got to do for the betterment of an organization that's doing more good. All right. And I get passionate about that point because as what we're going to be discussing today is directly related to that. All right. It's trade-offs. When you do come into my world, so for the people who are staying around here, understand that when you start thinking in terms of how do I improve, how do I get better, how do I build a better life or build a better situation for myself, you're going to get offered a ton of opportunities. All right. So many opportunities that you're going to have to turn a lot of people away. You're going to have to ghost some people. You're going to have to go quiet on some people. You're going to have to say no to a lot of different things. And the way you do that is you start understanding, first and foremost, what is the trade-off for whatever opportunity is being presented? What is the trade-off for a new promotion? What is the trade-off for a new relationship? What is the trade-off for a brand new car, a brand new house, a brand new, you name it, the start of a family? I don't know, whatever it is in your mind that you want to get to the next place and the next step in, what's actually going to be the trade-off? All right, so I'm going to go over the article. And by the way, make sure you're following me on medium.com, because book number 6, How to Be a Wintrepreneur, it's really just, it's a collection of the articles that I've been writing for the past 2 years now. It's going to be a collection of those along with an 8-step process on how to be a wintrepreneur and what a wintrepreneur is all about. All right. So make sure you follow me on medium.com so you can claim, I'm actually considering what I'll actually do is I'll make it so you get a free copy as long as you're willing to cover the shipping and stuff like that. So there's going to be options if you just want that book. But seeing that it's book number 6, there's going to be package deals and bundles and all sorts of things that are going to be coming down the pipeline. I'm just getting the cover right, or I really am. I'm just getting the cover right and making sure it's to my liking. And I'm in the process. He sent it to me. I just haven't had time to respond to it yet and do a deep dive on it, but it is ready to go. All right, it is ready to go. So all that being said, let's jump into this. I usually I'm working. I've gotten a whole lot better working towards keeping these live streams at 20 minutes. Give me a hard stop at 20 minutes and, give you what you need and then roll out. I have come such a long way in these. If you go back to my earlier videos, it's interesting because when I first started these, I was single. I was a single guy. But since that time, I did meet someone. I'm in a serious relationship now. And it's interesting because her feedback from, again, she consumes a lot of YouTube and stuff like that. So her feedback when she's talking about other YouTubers, she doesn't know that if she's listening to this now, it's going to be news to her. But her feedback and what she says about other YouTubers, I'm always taking in my head and thinking about, okay, let me think about how I can improve my channel. Like I tell her all the time, I take off like the boyfriend hat and just put on the single as one hat and learn and think. And that's, to me, that's the best way it should be, because no matter what relationship you may be in today, it's all about, hey, what are you becoming as an individual, and are two people moving in the same direction? That could happen as friends, that can happen as romantic partners, that can happen as business partners, that can happen as whatever. You got to start understanding that, people have their own lives and have their own situations, and you need to start being respectful to their space. Again, it's another conversation for another day, which is what sometimes can be the problem with me, is I can get on one topic and next thing you know, I'm off on another topic. And this is why, again, I'm done doing the live streams without having an article to keep me from going off on tangents. But anyway, let's jump into the article. Make Your Move Monday. What are the trade-offs? All right, what are the trade-offs? Now, the reason for this image, this was me at 18 years old. You see, I had the little peach fuzz. I wasn't all the way there. I didn't have the full goatee, but I had the little peach fuzz. This was back in college. The first college I attended was at Carson Newman College in East Jefferson City, Tennessee. And those are my guys, man. Those are my guys. We were summer. That's my boy T-Bird over there on the right with the looking like he's real surprised to want the glasses. My boy Say, and that was it. I'm from Maryland. The one in the middle is from Cincinnati, Ohio, and the other one to the right of your screen, he's from Bruton, Alabama. T-Bird. We called him T-Bird. T-Bird. His name is Terrence. But anyway, I chose that picture when it comes to the trade-offs because we were incoming freshmen, wet behind the ears, 18-year-old kids. We were kids back then. Right? We were kids. And when all three of us, when we made the decision to go to Carson Newman, a D2 school, we were out of town. We weren't in a situation where there was a lot of, not so much T-Bird, because there was a lot of people from Alabama at Carson Newman. But between me and Say, we were kind of out of our element in terms of, he came from Ohio, which is more Midwestern. I came from Maryland, Northeast area, and then meeting in Tennessee. It was a difficult adjustment. It was a difficult adjustment for anybody that's an incoming freshman, right? However, the trade-offs was the resiliency and the fact that we needed to depend on each other. And, we became friends, and we just, again, had a glass. We became like brothers throughout those 2 semesters there. And I say all that because that's life. When you take a new job, when you start a new position, or you transition into your adulting life, there are going to be trade-offs. There's going to be opportunities that sound sweet. I remember I would say all the time, if you're a 20-year-old kid out of college, $40,000 to $30,000 is going to sound like a lot of money. But the reality of it is, when you factor in the cost of living, you factor in wanting to be a parent, and you factor in some of the things that you're going to be doing from a leisure standpoint, it may not be a lot of money. So you need to have certain things. And again, not to say you don't want to take that salary, but you need to have some things set up so that doesn't need your only income, to where that $45K may just be enough to start you off to kickstart your business and what you want to build. Always, always, always bet on yourself, no matter what. All right. And that's what this week is all about. All right. So here we go again. Blessed to see another day, period. But a Monday is special around here on the Move Swiftly platform because it's Make Your Move Monday. the day, we start with a kickoff question designed to challenge the way you think and set the tone for the rest of your week. Today's question: what are the trade-offs? I first learned this concept years ago from Dre Baldwin, a fellow author and YouTuber whose work has been instrumental in helping me develop a system for my business. Dre used to say bluntly, there is no perfect situations in life, only trade-offs. I want you to let that sit for a second. Right? There's nothing that's going to be perfect. Accept it. There's no perfect relationship, nothing perfect. No perfect job, no perfect promotion, nothing. No perfect house. There's nothing going to be perfect in this world. It won't happen. Accept it. Please hear me very, very bluntly when I say that. They're going to be trade-offs. There's going to be something that you have to trade in order to get this. You trade this to get that. Only trade-offs. All right. That line hit me hard. It means no matter how good something may seem, the real question isn't how great the opportunity looks, but what you'll have to give up in exchange for that opportunity. Hear me loud. What will you have to give up? Somebody offers you cars, and you say, man, it's a great car. I could afford it. I could do this. Blah, 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 blah. Great. What am I going to have to give up in exchange for that car? All right. Do you have to now say, hey, I don't need to be in the club every single weekend because I know I got a car payment coming up that I bought. I don't need to pay money to buy new clothes and put money in this because I know this is coming up. What are you having to trade off for what it is you think you want? That has to be the real question, because it keeps you humble. It keeps you where you need to. It keeps your mindset grounded in a way that makes it so you can continuously add value. See, a lot of you guys don't understand, especially if we're talking business. We're talking about the realities of what's going to happen in business. If you have a good day where you're breaking out sales and you're doing this and you're doing that, okay, that sale you just made, now you have an obligation. You have an obligation to the person, whoever you sold that product to make sure the product is actually worthy and you don't have negative reviews and you don't have things coming back at you that are going to lead you down a negative path, right? You have to understand there's a trade-off, even when it comes to you making a sale. All right, even when it comes to making a sale. So I'm gonna close you guys out soon. So understanding the trade-offs in real life. Over the next 2 days, I'll break down a step-by-step process to help you assess your trade-offs, along with a personal story that inspired this week's theme. But for today, I just want to leave you with my own answer to the question, my trade-off story. So it's been almost a decade. It's crazy. So yeah, 27. I was 27, 26. Yeah, we're approaching a decade now since I did decide to move to Florida. All right, so it's been almost a decade since I relocated to Florida. One night I packed up and left. No job offer, no place to stay, and an aunt who lived hours away from where I landed. All right. I grew up in a stable home in an affluent community surrounded by family. I had a young niece and nephew who were growing up fast. Leaving all that to start a new life in a city where I basically knew no one sounded insane. Sounds insane now as I'm saying it, right? It sounded insane to most people, but it wasn't. But it was a move I had to make. And although things have worked out for the most part, the trade-offs was inevitable. I grew apart from my immediate family. The cost of chasing growth, freedom, and purpose, you can't expand without letting go of something. So in a nutshell, what I'm saying is the family I grew up around, the structure and all that stuff that I had growing up, I had to trade that stuff off and say, hey, if you're really serious about going and building your own life in an area, in a city that you want to go and create your own thing, hey, you got to trade off this element of you could just go run home to mommy and daddy when life gets tough, right? You could just run home and say, mommy and daddy, help me with this, because I go and I make a decision that is going to be difficult, and I got to actually show myself or show my friends, show the whoever I'm courting. Let's say it's a girl I'm courting. I have to show not only my girl but myself, hey, I am good at, I am willing, and I am ready for this new chapter and this new season. That's what you have to do. That's the trade-off you have to make. So the lesson for entrepreneurs, as a business owner and as someone responsible for decisions that affect other people's livelihoods, you have to consistently develop yourself, because every decision you make is a trade-off. You might gain recognition, but lose privacy, right? You might earn more, but rest less, right? You might grow your business, but grow distant from certain relationships. That's life, not punishment, just the price of progress. All right. So the kickoff reminder, every promotion or big win comes with an unseen cost. When good news hits, are you thinking about what the trade-offs might be? Growth doesn't come free. New opportunities often mean less comfort, more responsibility, and higher expectations. Final word before this week gets away from you. Take a moment, write down your next move and the trade-off that comes with it. That's how growth becomes sustainable. Again, makingmove.com, main website to check out to dive deeper into all the work I'm doing and what I'm all about. There with me. The internet has been kind of acting funny. It's been acting funny. Let me switch it off real quick. Hold on. So let me do something real quick. Very good. There we go. All right. So again, main website's right there. Makingmove.com. It's MAKEYAMOVE.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. As one Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker. Checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.